I'm being a weird nigga and recording in the dark. Alright, my shirt is off. But anyways, and the light was all already shut out anyways. I got, you know what I'm saying, got the cap on, everything. I'm ready to settle down. But we here to talk about, I'll just share my thoughts quickly. Or this, I don't know how quickly it's gonna be, but pretty much, as you could probably hear, the fireworks going out outside. A video, well, going out outside because it is 4th of July. But I wanted to respond to a video that I saw earlier today, and it was this Asian dude who was going on about how essentially his mom, who lends him money, gives him loans for him to run his business, and because he hasn't been making a lot of money because of the Asian store boycotts. I don't know how true this story is, by the way. You know, he could have been lying, you know, but even if he wasn't lying, I'm going to share my thoughts on it. I'm going to share my thoughts on this with the assumption that he isn't lying. If he's lying, get out of here. But let's assume that he's not lying. So he details the story about his mom who was giving him money, essentially, right? And she gave him the last check, or the last bit of money that she said she was going to give him for him to sustain his business, was about $4,500. Okay? He was saying that he needed that in order for him to get payroll, right? To even afford payroll, so he could pay his employees, right? Essentially, because if he didn't have that, he wasn't able to pay his employees and himself, of course, right? And he needed about $1,600 for something else. I believe it was like for rent, and he owed a bunch of other things, right? I didn't watch the entire video because, to me, like I said, number one, whether he was lying or not, I didn't watch the whole thing because you can call me ignorant, but I was just like, nigga, get off my screen. Like, not that I know that you're lying, but even if you're not lying, it's kind of like a tough luck type situation. And I knew I wanted to talk about this and why I'm doing this video here. Listen, any Asian business, whether you are a racist individual or not, and you find yourself taking a big financial hit over your business because of what the black community have decided to do, don't go blaming black people. Don't go trying to guilt trip us into, oh my God, but if he doesn't make his money, his business is going to shut down, or their business is going to shut down. Stop doing that and have a serious discussion that a lot of POC needed to have with their racist family members to begin with. A lot of y'all motherfuckers know your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, older siblings, cousins, and them grandparents. Y'all know you have anti-black family members, and y'all didn't speak up against it, even though y'all claim not to be anti-black, claim to be allies, claim to not be racist and everything. But when it came to your family members, y'all never checked them on any of that shit, their anti-blackness. And now that it's affecting your bottom dollar, instead of talking to your community members, your fellow Chinamen, your fellow Asian men, your fellow Indians, your fellow Latinos, your fellow Arabs, your fellow anybody, right? Instead of talking to them and saying, this anti-blackness needs to stop right now, not only because it's, if you're not even going to argue the fact that it's morally wrong, it's just fucking stupid, at least argue the fact that it's costing you money. Racism costs money. Look at America's debt. Look at all the issues America has had because of its anti-blackness. So if you think an entire nation is having issues, having financial issues, partly because of their anti-blackness? What makes you think your little small business won't have financial issues due to the racism of other people within your community? Within your community, meaning your nationality, your family members even. It's like that. No amount of sob story, whether it's true or not. If it's a lie, I'm definitely not going to feel bad. But if it's true, you're going to get a monicum of, man, that's unfortunate from me. But that's a little bit of sympathy you're going to get from me. It's, man, that's unfortunate. But you know what's also unfortunate? Black people having to deal with the deadly consequences of racism, hatred, and you still have your life at the end of the day. You still have a business, or had a business, if you're unable to make your $1,600 rent or whatever else you needed to be paid off by whatever your timeline was to have those things paid. You still have that. And most of all, them fireworks, they agree with me. But no, most of all, you still have your life. You still have your dignity. You lose your business somewhere, you get to pack up and go elsewhere. Or you get the chance again to start from ground zero. Step one again. Crowdfund. Fundraise, other things you can do to raise capital for your business. Or again, like I said, you get to start over. You know who don't get to start over though? Black people who are murdered for simply walking into stores and because they're being painted as guilty of doing something that they're not guilty of. Automatically deemed as criminals. You know what hurts us when we go into these damn stores, and even if we don't lose our life, still being viewed as a criminal, followed around, harassed, all this other shit. The money that we spend, we don't get that shit. No, we don't get that shit back. I'm not saying we don't make money. When I say we don't get that shit back, that money that we spent there at that damn store, or all the money that we spent at the damn store, that shit is gone. You, on the other hand, you have the chance to continue to make money. Nobody's obligated to spend money at your business. Don't matter if you're not a racist. But again, if anybody like that Asian man that I saw earlier today, and if I could find this video again, I'll share it somewhere in this video. But if anybody is facing a harsh reality right now, any of your business is taking a hit, and because of this redistribution of wealth, talk to your community. Talk to your I know you speak to other Asian people. I know you speak to other Arabic people. I know you speak to other Latin people. I know don't sit here and act like I'm the only Asian person I know. Get the fuck out of here. That gaslighting, that pretending that we some stupid motherfuckers, that's what's getting y'all fucked up too. Don't sit here and act like you're just Mr. Innocent. And you're not, are you solely responsible for the actions of all racist people of your ethnic group? No. But again, many black people have known this. I know this. A lot of y'all know y'all have racist family members. A lot of y'all have racist people, anti-black folks within your life. I also am aware that y'all don't check them because it's not an inconvenience to you to check them, whether it's family members or just people that you know who are of your ethnic group. But now it's an inconvenience. So what are you going to do? Are you actually going to check them, or are you going to continue to make TikToks crying with no tears, by the way? That's another reason why that made me believe he was faking the funk. But again, let's go based off the premise that this man is telling the truth. But you on TikTok, you crying about getting your last loan from your mama and not knowing when you're going to be able to pay rent and keep your business alive. These are the consequences that happen when people decide that, hey, listen, I'm taking a political stance. That is the point. The point is to not make sure that everybody is comfortable. These things are supposed to make some folks uncomfortable. You want to know why? Because we were made to feel uncomfortable whenever we go into these stores. Time and time again, all the money that we spend, you're losing out on what, $4,500 or $1,600, and there are people who've been living in these neighborhoods longer than those stores even existed, and yet those stores come into those neighborhoods and then act like the money that those people have been spending at them damn stores in them neighborhoods hasn't exceeded 45,000, 1,600 or so, right? Or 4,500. No matter the amount, right? They act like the money that people spend isn't up to those amounts, but also it's no good. And again, those people are, those people being black folks, they shouldn't be treated with any type of decency, no comfortability at all. Yet, we're supposed to have sympathy for you and all the other people who are taking financial hits, simply because you might not have been discriminatory against black folks in your little convenience store or whatever your business is. But as I've hinted at, I am 1,000% sure. Let's bet $20 on it that that Asian man knows Asian folks, either in his family or not, who are severely anti-black. And I'm willing to bet it's a 50-50 chance that man has never checked those people on their anti-blackness. Now is the time. Now is the time for you and everybody else that's taking these financial hits. Like I said, if the moral aspect wasn't enough for you to simply just say it's not right for you to think this way about them, treat them this way, maybe the financial hit that you're taking is going to get you to say, okay, these people that I know or my community really needs to check their anti-black problem, because now it's hurting my pockets. It's unfortunate that it's getting that way, but unfortunately, I feel as though that is what's going to get people of color, allies, supposed allies. It's going to get some people to talk, because it gets a lot of business people to talk. When you hurt their pockets, that's when they want to tell the abusers that they know to chill the fuck out. Stop doing that, because it's hurting my pockets at the end of the day. Not because it's the wrong thing to do, but because it's hurting my pockets. Yeah, I don't feel bad for anyone right now. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate, and that's the only amount of, I guess, sensitivity that I'm going to give you, especially, again, if you're not necessarily one who is guilty of treating black people, your black patrons, as, like criminals and things of that nature. But what you are guilty of is not checking the people within your ethnic group with their anti-blackness. Because I feel as though this whole POC solidarity thing would actually be a thing had more people of color actually check the racism and check the other just bigotry that happens with it, the colorism, the racism, all the other isms that the people of color are guilty of. All these things would have, I'm not going to say ceased to exist, but they wouldn't be at the magnitude that they have been and that they are now if, once again, people like this gentleman on the video that I'm referencing. Check the folks who are anti-black. The folks in his life, the folks in his ethnic group in general. But I find it hard-pressed that he has done it, and other people who are feeling the same pain that he's feeling, I find it hard to believe that they've done the same thing. I could be wrong. I don't know any of these people personally. I could be wrong in that they have had these discussions with folks and it still amounted to nothing. But I'm going based off of my personal experience with other people of color. They are very much comfortable in revealing to black people that they have racist aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, parents, grandparents, and everything. But when you ask them, well, how do they feel about you dating a black guy or having a black friend? Or and then it's either crickets, as in they don't tell them, they don't check them on the anti-blackness. They will protect themselves and be like, I don't join in on the conversation. Like I stay silent when they're saying some ignorant shit, but I don't join in on it. Or they simply will just say that they listen to what they're saying and pretend like they're playing along with the like they're not actually going to carry on any type of relation with a black person, but knowing outside of the home they're chummy with black folks, you know. But that silence does nobody good, you know. Pretending like, you know, simply because you excuse me, and I know those fireworks are going off, so I'm gonna end this soon. But now silence is clearly is not doing anything good. So yeah, if you was looking for some sympathy from me, man, it's missing like my shirt. Now my shirt ain't missing, it's just off. But hey, I can't. I'm still with this redistribution of wealth. And like I said in my video that I will post at the end of this video, that I'll have tagged at the end of this video, you know, this is something that I've been wanting us to do. This is something that I've been doing, but I've never been one to try to force people, or at least I won't say never, because I used to be that type, but I don't do it anymore. But yeah, I'm glad my folks are deciding to find businesses that actually respect black folks, that we feel safe in patronizing, that we don't feel as though that we are selling our soul or losing a part of ourselves or failing ourselves when we still spend our money at said business and we get disrespected. And again, if you're a person of color and you're taking a financial hit right now, speak to the people in your family who reacted the same way Rick Chow reacted, or had the same mentality about black folks that Rick Chow and his family have. Whether that y'all are Asian or Chinese or not. If you are a person of color and you have family members, friends, acquaintances, people you just know in general, with the same anti-black thoughts of a Rick Chow, the boycott, redistribution of wealth is happening because of their mentality. And the years upon years upon years upon years of how deadly, both physically and spiritually and emotionally deafening all of that was. So yeah, sorry bruh, I guess.